Welcome to the Soulfire Podcast, where every day we talk about real life, real shit, real raw. On this show, you can expect us to dive deep into topics like marriage, parenting, money, business, feeling like you want to give up, fighting for yourself, just straight soul healing. This podcast is all about life. Hey there, it's Power Coach Alicia here, your source of fun, funny, exciting, entertaining, and educational life coaching, transformational speaking, and soul healing. We're talking about setting your soul on fire. I specialize in helping women put themselves first without feeling guilty, getting out of their own way, and finding themselves again. No fluff, no hand-holding, no bullshit here, just love, light, and peace as we journey through this thing called life. So as you know, I started my own business, and actually you may not know this, but I started my own business in 2007, and that's when I quit working in corporate world, and I've never gone back. So at the time I'm recording this, it is October of, what year? 2021. There we go. October of 2021, right? And so what is that? I quit my job in May of 2007. So we are literally at 14 and a half-ish years since I've worked for anyone else. And one of the things that I didn't really grasp as much in the corporate world was like the compound effect of the actions you take when those actions are going to show up in your life. Because, you know, if you have a day job, you know what I'm saying? You go to work, you do the work, you come home. You go to work, you do the work, you come home. In the sales environment, so if you have a job as a salesperson, you're literally eating shit and pounding the pavement for a certain amount of time before you actually start to see those results. The problem is that people usually give up before those results can come to fruition because they believe that what they're doing isn't working, right? Well, fast forward through, 2012 becoming a business coach. For all 8.5 years that I was doing business coaching, from the second a client would come into my world, for the entire time that they were there, I would drill into their mind that what you do for your business today affects it 90 days from now. And it's interesting because in life coaching, I haven't used that sort of verbiage at all. It's almost like in my mind, it only applied to business. So I didn't even think about, consciously or subconsciously, bringing it into the life coaching side. Well, the other day I got a message from one of my clients inside the Soul Circle program, and she was just stating like that the next session would be her last day in the session. She thanked me so much for all of the changes and all of the help and all of like her new tools and everything that she's learned in such a short amount of time, that she feels like that she's ready to take this information and continue moving forward on her own. And I thought when I read it, like, this is a perfect teaching opportunity. Because here's the deal. When you are in despair and you're in a place of like, oh my God, I don't know what I'm going to do. I can't live like this anymore. Is this all there is to life? I don't know how I got here. I just can't take it. Something has to change. Something's got to give. Those sorts of thoughts. You are in a place that you're like willing to do anything to help yourself step into the next level and the next level and the next level. You're like, I'll do it. I'm there. I'm in. You tell me, you walk me through, you tell me you know how to help me. I'm going to do what you tell me to do. Right. And then what happens is your first month coaching with me, you're like, whew, this is a lot of work. I got a lot to do, a lot of changing, but I'm starting to feel better. I can see the light at the end of the tunnel. I can see how this will help me. I'm feeling, the little shifts already. That's month one. You're either there in month one or you're in, oh my gosh, like I am so far behind everyone else. Like, I don't know how I got to this place. I'm not sure how I'm going to get out of this, but I'm in this program and I'm going to give it my all, right? Then in month two, you really you've gone through a lot of shifts So in like a 30, 45 day period, you've gone through a shit ton of shifts. So you're like light years away from where you were when you started with me. So you get to that point, you're like, oh my God, I've got this. Like, this is starting to make so much more sense. It's so clear. Not everybody shifts this fast, but the people who do shift this fast, they make the biggest mistake of their life. So they're like, oh, I feel so great. Like, I get this. I can do this. I've got a hold on this. I've got everything I need. So then you quit going through the training program that was helping you because you believe you've got it. Listen, here's the cold hard truth. What you do for yourself today affects you 90 days from now. And any stopping in that 90-day period, any like lulls of time where you're not taking that consistent action, it means you start all the way over. And the hardest thing for a human to do is to restart once they've stopped. So you're feeling amazing now, right? You're in this great headspace. You're like, I've got all the tools I need. I'm ready to go. I don't need any more help. I don't need any more support. I can do this on my own. But one of the things that you're missing is the reason why you feel that way is because you have me there. And generally, depending on what program it is, you have other people there as well. So you have other people metaphorically holding you up and keeping you together as you grow. As soon as you take that out of the equation, you will immediately, within 2 to 3 weeks, and I call that immediate, revert back to your old behaviors. Why? Because you haven't done it for enough time for it to become bred into you as a habit, as you fighting for yourself and taking that consistent action. So in this example, I'm using a client of mine that decided that they're done after 2 months. There is no life coaching program, no training, no nothing in this world that will take your life and your relationship with yourself from the lowest level you've ever been at to peak personal power and help you stay there in 60 days. So my Shift Happens program is 60 days long. It's 8 weeks, right? And so you would say, well, Alicia, you have that program. It's 8 weeks long. And you're telling people that in that time, they are going to have massive 180 shifts in 3 areas of their life. They're going to get out of their own way. They're going to put themselves first without feeling guilty. And they're going to find themselves again, all in 60 days. But you're in the same breath saying that if someone is in a program of yours for 60 days, that's not near enough time for them to make a lasting transformation. I am saying that 100%. So let me explain what I mean. In my Shift Happens 60-day program, that to me, it's my signature program. That to me is setting the foundation in all 3 areas: getting out of your own way, putting yourself first without feeling guilty, and finding yourself again, right? It's setting the foundation for you, giving you the tools, the education, the training, and helping you build some solid habits. When you get done with that training, the best thing that you can do for yourself is move into Soul Shifts, my mastermind. Why? Because the Soul Shifts mastermind isn't about giving you the tools, the foundation, and helping you build the habits. It's about helping you continue the habits and to continue you grow into the next level version of yourself and not quitting and giving up on yourself. Now let's kind of go backwards to my Soul Circle program, which is the program that she was in and only stayed for 2 months. It's a monthly membership. Soul Circle is the slowest boil of transformation of all my programs. Well, not slowest. It's like second from the slowest. My slowest is going to be my 90-day shift. And then second slowest is going to be Soul Circle. My middle ground is going to be Soul Circle. My fastest shift is Shift Happens. However, every one of these programs in my mind is set for you to move up to the next one. So if you start at 90-day shift, going to Soul Circle is it's an amazing shift for you because you're getting more touches to me, more weekly training, and it's diversified in all areas of your life. And then from Soul Circle, the best thing you can do for yourself is to go to Shift Happens, because Shift Happens is going to take you through an 8-week life transformation in those 3 areas and then into soul shifts so that you can continue that, plus start helping other people and creating like a circle or a group of women who are all there for each other. Like I said, I think in last week's podcast, a group of women who are there for each other, helping each other shift through the transitions of life, right? So going back to Soul Circle, if you've only been in there 2 months, you've scratched the surface. Your foundation of Soul Circle is 6 months. Why is it 6 months? Because in that 6-month time, we're covering so many different aspects of your life and they build upon each other. So month 1, let's say you come in when the theme is clear your mind clutter. Okay. And then month 2, after clear your mind clutter comes journal juice, right? If you quit in journal juice, you're missing like so much more that pulls that all together and builds a habit for you. Because from journal juice, I can't remember what we go into next, but let's say it's kicking your procrastination, right? That's going to help you stop giving up on yourself because something comes up, something gets in the way. So right there, you're leaving before you ever even build the habit and the action to take action even when you feel like giving up. That's what kick your procrastination is. And then we go into organize your chaos. Well, once you learn how to kick your procrastination, we've got to organize the chaos of what is your life, because you've been procrastinating things. You've kind of been stuck. You've had your head stuck in the sand. You just kind of been going through the motions. That's where you were when you joined the program. So you've got to get now into organizing your life and the chaos and da-da-da. So do you see what I'm saying? Now, this is me using my programs, my training, and going through the journey with me as the example. But you can apply this to any area of your life. What you do for yourself right now as far as your weight loss journey and your exercise routine, you're not going to really start to see the full effects of from 90 days from now. So you do that with exercise. You could do that with eating. You could do that with, let's say, Bible study. Like you want to go through and read the Bible. You're not really going to see what you are learning about and its effects in your life and how it applies to you until time has passed and situations come up where you can actually apply that, right? If you're doing, let's say, a whole house clean out and reorganize. Yeah, when you're going through that process, the house looks like shit. This is a brilliant example. The house looks like shit. There's stuff everywhere. It looks like a chaotic clusterfuck, right? It doesn't look like you're organizing at all. It looks like all you did was trash your freaking house. In that 90 days, all you're doing is trashing your house. Yes, you've started putting some things away, right? You started putting, let's say, stuff away in the closets and reorganizing that. And now you can easily find your clothes and your shoes and everything you're looking for. But the kitchen cupboards are still a mess. The under the sink's still a mess. Where the pots and pans are, your Tupperware glassware area, your refrigerator, all the different bedrooms, closets, cubby holes, all of that is still a fucking mess. And all the shit you've pulled out everywhere is still a mess because, oops, sorry about that. You are looking for a place for it to all go, right? Or figuring out what needs to be thrown out. It's the exact same thing on your journey to getting out of your own way, putting yourself first without feeling guilty, and finding yourself again. No matter where no matter where you're starting in that journey, you have got shit everywhere. Some shit needs to be thrown out and gotten rid of. Something like thrown in the trash, right? And gotten rid of. Some things need to be donated. And then other things need to be reorganized and restructured. That's all happening in the first 3 to 6 months of your journey in finding yourself again and putting yourself first without feeling guilty and getting out of your own way. If at any time in those 3 to 6 months, you decide that you are not going to continue something that was helping you, just know you will go backwards. How would you like to create a vision that will help propel you into the new year with so much momentum that there will be nothing holding you back? Well, in my brand new Power Vision Masterclass, that's exactly what we're talking about. We're going to first help you get clear on your vision for the year and make sure that it's a vision that you are actually excited to take action to achieve. Then we're going to help you get connected to how you want to feel and use those feelings to make all of your decisions moving forward. And then lastly, we're going to talk about why vision boards and words of the year don't work and how to make sure that when you create your power vision, that it actually sticks and works for you. Now, there's a reason why we are not doing this workshop in January and we're starting this power visioning early. It's because I don't want you to get stuck in the black hole of a stupid New Year's resolution that you're only setting because it's the beginning of the year. I want you to create and design your life in advance so that it actually shows up for you. So if this sounds exciting to you and you'd like to learn more, go to masterclass.powercoachalicia.com. Again, that's masterclass.powercoachalicia.com. So I'm not saying this because it's my program, my training. I'm saying it in general. Pay attention. Let's go back to exercising. If at any time in that first 90 days, you stop exercising for a week and a half, once you get back on, it feels like you're starting over. Your body has to go through the soreness again. You know, all the process that you had already advanced through, you've now reset because your default mode in the journey for growth is remembered easier than any other thing. Your body remembers right where it was. It remembers how it processed that cheeseburger the last time. It hasn't learned how to process cheeseburgers so that your body processes it through faster. No. It's going to go through that default mode where it slows down and it stores the fat and da. So I want to encourage you this. If you're going to say yes to yourself, to move forward and take action to fight for yourself, then you better be committed to a minimum of 90 days on that journey. A minimum. Remember, it's going to take 90 days for the foundations and habits to form. Then the next 90 days, they become who you are. And then from there, you're deciding what you want to do. Do you love having that connection, that support, that the people there, the journey, the able to lean on, all those things so you stay? Or maybe you're like, okay, now I feel like I've got a hold on it and I have the tools that I need to move forward. So specifically in your life coaching journey, this is why people, let me put a push button. I'm going to say 6 things at one time. Specifically in your life coaching journey, I really want to tell you to give yourself 6 months for a full lasting transformation, right? And it doesn't matter that it's a 90-day program. Then what are you doing after that to continue on your 6 months? It doesn't matter if it's month to month and you can cancel at any time. Commit to that 6 months to yourself. I don't care if it's mine. I don't care whose it is. I don't care, it doesn't matter to me. I'm talking about in general, not just so I can make a buck off of you, but so that you can change your fucking life. Like that is so important to me. But let me paint a really clear picture for you. I'm telling you that really with me, because I can't tell you if you're going to have that lasting transformation and a solid foundation and all those things with someone else. But really with me, I know that someone who's with me for 6 months, their entire life has changed forever. Not for a minute, forever. The way they fight for themselves, the way they show up for themselves. When shit gets hard and they realize like they're struggling, they know exactly what to do to get back on track. There is no question. They don't need anybody to push them. They don't need to ask anybody questions in order to figure out. They know exactly what to do and they can get themselves back on top. That kind of transformation takes right around 6 months. And it also depends on where you started. If you started if you started in bed, depressed, on antidepressants, high anxiety, panic attacks, then you're at a year. But in 6 months, you're going to feel like you can fly higher than you ever have and not even think twice. I put you at a year because I want to make sure that our time together, that you've had enough shit happen in that time together, that I've helped you navigate coming back from that enough times or those things or different things enough times that you know exactly what to do for yourself. So now let's look at traditional therapy. The average person is in traditional therapy for 2 to 5 years, depending on what they've gone through and what has happened. 2 to 5 years. You have this person saying they're done in 2 months? I mean, I appreciate the credit of, the tools and the help and the transformation, but there's no way. I've never helped somebody in 2 months that person actually changed for longevity because it's just not enough time. You will revert back to your old habits. That's how we are. We are human. We have to spend more time inundating ourselves and taking action with ourselves for that transformation and those habits and that lasting change to actually happen. If you don't, you will revert back, me included. So this isn't just something I say to you because I am a life coach. This is something I say to you because I live what I teach. I'm living what I teach. So with that being said, what you do for yourself today affects you 90 days from now. I want you to start making 90-day commitments to yourself. And somebody might go, oh God, Alicia, people can't do that. They're already stressed. They're already overwhelmed. They already have so much on their plate and da-da-da-da. That's precisely why you should be making a minimum of a 90-day commitment to yourself. And then from there, you make another 90-day commitment. But what does it look like? Of course, your next 90-day commitment is going to look a little bit different because of the first 90-day journey that you were on. So why am I saying all this? Because in your journey, through getting out of your own way, putting yourself first without feeling guilty and finding yourself again. With me specifically, depending on where you start, it depends on how long you're going to be in that transformation. If you start at 90-day shift and soul circle, then you're definitely there for 6 months, right? If you start at shift happens, in 2 months, you will be where you were in 6 months with those programs. However, you're going to need the time to go on, the accountability, the help, and the support system for you to make it a lasting change. I'm hoping that this makes sense. So if you're going in, a lifestyle change journey, you might spend your first 90 days just wrapping your whole mind and body and everything around the food you eat. Because for you, that may be the biggest feat to tackle. So you're like, I'm not going to do anything else but wrap myself around the food that I eat for the first 90 days. And then from there, let's say you're going to add on working out. So for the next 90 days, you're finding that baseline of what your body can handle. Maybe you have some ailments, some knee aches, some feet, some arm issues, some hand issues. Maybe you sound like you're just like me. Those were all my examples, right? So for your next 90 days, you're just wrapping yourself around what your body is able to do for you to get the exercise that you need to grow stronger while continuing on the eating plan. So that's already 6 months. From there, your next 90 days, maybe you're wrapping around loving the new you and connecting to the way you look now, because our minds tell us that we're still as big as we were. Our minds tell us we still look like that. You got to keep going. You got to push harder. You're still as big as you were. Or your mind says, now that you've lost all that weight, you've lost who you are. So maybe you didn't know that in the journey. And so you get to your third 90 days and you're actually depressed, but you've lost a shit ton of weight. So now what do? Well, you got to work on your mind for the next 90 days while continuing to exercise, while continuing to eat. Do you see what I'm saying? That is what I'm talking about. Then you get to month 4 and you're like, or not month 4, 3, 6, we're at month 9. So we're in now working on the fourth 90 days. So we're going to hit a year at the end of this. Most people have hit their goal weight, let's say by then, maybe not. Maybe you're halfway there, maybe you're quarter way there, whatever. But you've had a pretty good milestone. You've had some good progress. And at this point, you're in assessment mode of what's next for you. A lot of times people quit here and then they revert all the way back and they gain all the way back. And at any point during this journey that they stop, they revert back. So for a full, physical body, weight loss, healthy transformation, you're committing to a minimum of a year. You don't really have a 90 days because there's so many different elements to it. There are 90-day blocks. So why you can't give your mind and your soul and your personal growth a minimum of 6 months, I have no idea why. Like, I don't know how you couldn't do that. So I'm just giving you this rule today because this is something you're missing. If she's missing it, you're missing it. This is something you've never thought of before. And this is something that's holding you back from the real greatness and the high level version of yourself that you truly crave to be. So when you quit too early, you will stay the stuck version of yourself that you no longer want to be. All right? So give yourself some grace. Say yes to yourself more than you say yes to other people. And remember, it's all about progress, not perfection. I'll see you next time. Thank you so much for listening to the Soul Fire podcast. I truly appreciate you taking out your time to be here. I would love it if you would subscribe and share. And at the end of each episode, head over to community.soulhealingzone.com. Again, that's community.soulhealingzone.com. And share with me, what was your number one takeaway? What really connected with you? What got your fire lit? What was something that you absolutely loved about this episode? I cannot wait to continue creating more episodes with you, connecting with you, and helping you through this journey on this thing called life. I'll see you later.